Fiji was first discovered in 1643 by a Dutch explorer named Abel Tasman, who was a European. In the 1830s, Western Christian missionaries began to arrive, one of which who was Kakabau, a Christian missionary. Kakabau sells Suva to an Australian company. In 1871, European settlers organized a national government, and Kakabau was named king. After Kakabau was named king, it was his request to bring Fiji under British rule for their own good. Fiji remained under the British rule for many decades until 1970, when they finally gained independence. In 19th century Fiji, arranged marriages were very common. The groom's father would select a bride from a subclan of the kin group. This means that a long-term relationship existed with the bride's family before the selection. In present-day Fiji, spouses are chosen more freely by the groom or bride themselves. Kin groups have remained an important part of Fiji since the 20th century. Links of kinship determine relationship and social behaviors for Fijians. Kinships are basically an extended family group where a household affiliates with another household which they share a male ancestor. Their kinships were the main way that property was determined in colonial Fiji times. For example, villages were claimed by kin groups. Property laws became more defined along with inheritance as time passed. Traditionally, men inherited cultural symbols, social status, and property from their father. But now, in Fiji, property rights can be willed freely.
On May 14, 1879, the Leonidas ship arrived in Fiji. This was the first ship to carry indentured laborers from India. The servants consisted of 85.3% Hindus, 14.6% Muslims, and 0.1% Christians. Some of the Hindus even included members from the Brahmin caste. The servants were brought over in order to meet the needs of the British Empire following the abolition of slavery. One indentured servant wrote, "Negroes refused to be enslaved a second time, so European glances were cast towards India and China as alternative sources." The agreement lasted for a period of 5 years, but ended due to public outrage. After the 5 years were up, the servants were offered two options, either to remain in Fiji or to travel back to India, but at their own expense. And due to the lack of finances for the majority of servants, they were forced to stay in Fiji. This sparked a divide between Indo-Fijians and indigenous Fijians. The principal ethnic groups at this time included the indigenous Fijians, Indo-Fijians, and Euro-Fijians. Besides language barriers, they were divided by religious values and domestic customs, as well as political aspirations. The indigenous people believed that there should be a political supremacy, whereas the Indo-Fijians wanted a political equality. During this time period, the Indo-Fijians also became the majority, which left the indigenous people feeling threatened and therefore increasing tensions between the two groups. After gaining independence from Britain, Fiji created multi-ethnic institutions, English mass media, and national sports in order to create a national identity. The family structure in Fiji mostly followed a patriarchy system, where men were the head of the household, and evening meals could not be started without them. They also received the first serving as well as the biggest portions and best foods. Now gender roles are more balanced. Much of Fiji's arts are a reflection of Polynesian and Melanesian heritage. Women focus primarily on pottery, whereas men do more wood carving. Fiji is also home to many sports. Tourists are more interested in water sports such as water skiing, surfing, and scuba diving, whereas locals are more interested in things such as canoe races, rugby, disc pitching, and wrestling. Fiji also became part of the Olympics during summer of 1956. Laguna, also known as kava, is the national drink of Fiji. It is served during Galo Galo V, or the traditional welcoming ceremony. Miki is a Fijian celebration of arts. It embraces traditional song and dance to tell stories of legends and love stories and history and spirits of the Fiji Islands. the traditional Fijian feast begins by heating rocks which serve as the base. Once the rocks are hot, they are placed in a shallow pit creating an underground oven. Next, chicken, fish, and pork are wrapped in a weave of banana leaves before being placed in the pit. This cooks for 2 to 3 hours before the great celebration begins.
Malea ke viti talega Kaura buera ya longanga Osana waile bakalasa-lasa Nimbula ke desara Nanu mi viti vanua lai-lai Nona sasanga me toro la ke mai Tumbu ko viti me rongo endai Bura malea me kilai Nena samai veikune talei Nenona tuna langi-langi Sabibi takayani Yavai viti buana ranati I'll give you fish and chips and if you swing those seats into the rampa I'll give you bacon and eggs and if you shake those legs into the samba I'll give you fish and chips and if you swing those seeds into the rampa I'll give you bacon and eggs and if you shake those legs into the samba Ay, 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 ay. Have you ever been to the Fiji Islands where the girls are easy and the boys are hard to get That's the Fiji Island way.
Previously, Fiji was under British rule, but upon gaining independence in 1970, they developed a parliamentary republic. The president is Apili Nalitakau, along with Prime Minister Frank Bainimarama, as well as Chief Justice Anthony Gates. The judiciary system consists of the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeals, the High Civil Court, High Criminal Court, Magistrates Court, Family Court, and tax tribunals and small case tribunals. Fiji is home to one of the most important ports on the South Pacific at Port of Suva. Port of Suva is Fiji's largest, busiest, and biggest container and general port, providing the maritime gateway to the country's capital city of Suva.
Fiji has experienced great poverty issues. The youth have very limited options for work and extracurriculars. This is leading to various crimes and drug use. Human trafficking and forced prostitution are also great issues. For example, local hotel staff facilitate commercial sexual exploitation of children for foreign guests. Relatives even facilitate prostitution too. Another reoccurring issue is the healthcare system. The quality of healthcare services varies significantly depending on if you're on the outskirts of the islands or on the inside. A lack of sanitation and fresh water can cause severe sickness, and only 50% of Fiji's population has access to safe water and proper sanitation. These same healthcare issues are similar to those in the United States because prices are at an extreme for mental health assistance and even terminal issues. Even though these prices are very high, insurance doesn't always cover them, and this is a great problem to people with mental illnesses because they cannot get the help that they need. According to The Atlantic, the U.S. healthcare system is the most expensive in the world, yet it still performs worse than 11 other similar countries.